Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Music video director Lumba dies suddenly at UHWI. The dancehall music fraternity is mourning the sudden death of the popular music video director Tevin Lumba Taylor of Black Sword Media Flames. Taylor died suddenly on Sunday morning after falling sick only hours before. Right now, this is big personal tragedy for me. This is one of my favorite cousins. And to know say him just gone so, it's hard to deal with. Me not even call me auntie yet, because me don't know what me I go say to her. Dancehall artist MinisterUrges, a cousin of the deceased, told reporters. According to reports, Lumba had ordered chicken from a popular jerk chicken vendor in St. Andrew. He reportedly fell ill hours later. He allegedly experienced diarrhea and vomiting and was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital. The doctors made a referral for him to be transferred to the University Hospital of the West Indies. Lumba reportedly suffered cardiac arrest while at the UHWI and died about 3 o'clock on Sunday morning. Me really cut up, and this shook up a lot of artists because he shot a lot of great videos for them, Miguel stated. Lumba would have been 29 years old next month. He shot videos for songs such as Freaky Girl, Caution and Bubble for Miguel Walty. This is a great loss for the music industry, Miguel Walty stated. Lumba also shot music videos for singles such as Nation Boss, Solidarity and Dream, Pain for Slip Boss, Love Shoot for Skilly Bang, Fee Secure by Cash, and Garrison Above for Chronic Law. 15-year-old shot to dead in Trenchtown gang war. The ongoing gang feud between the Sox and Brooklyn gangs from Trenchtown has claimed the life of a 15-year-old boy. Dead is Navarro Maitland from 4th Street. He was shot in the head while gunmen targeted each other on Friday night. Head of the West Kingston Police Superintendent Michael Phelps said the conflict between the Brooklyn and Sox gangs can be traced back to 2019 and a missing firearm. Since then, more than a dozen murders have been linked to the feud, and it seems the 15-year-old Navarro Maitland is the latest casualty of the war between what residents say were former friends. Reports are around 10 p.m. Friday night. Maitland was standing on the roadway when armed men opened fire at another man. It appears the thugs missed their intended target, instead killing the 15-year-old. Maitland, like thousands of other children, was preparing for the full return of face-to-face school on Monday. 4th Street seems to be epicenter of the gang conflict. Residents have been quoted in sections of the media saying Upper 4th Street is aligned to the Sox gang, while the lower section of the street is aligned to the Brooklyn gang. In addition to Maitland, several other Trenchtown teenagers have fallen victim to the carnage. On May 17, 2020, 15-year-old Norville Hall was shot and killed by a gunman on 2nd Street. And in January last year, a 16-year-old girl, Damoya Hall, of 3rd Street was shot and killed during a drive-by. Hall's mother says the young girl was struck in the head during the drive-by while she was helping her grandmother with chores. Despite the vital nature of West Kingston community, the police division currently has the largest year-on-year percentage decline in murders island-wide. Up to September 1 this year, 47 people were killed in West Kingston. That's a 44.7% decrease when compared to the 85 people murdered over the similar period in 2021. Cop injured in St. Elizabeth robbery released from hospital. A St. Elizabeth police constable was shot and injured during a robbery at a supermarket in Santa Cruz on Saturday night has been released from hospital. Reports suggest that sometime after 9 p.m., the policeman who is assigned to the St. Elizabeth Quick Response Team went to the supermarket when he was off duty and later left the establishment with an undetermined sum of cash. Further reports are that 3 men ambushed the policeman as he entered his motor vehicle and a tussle ensued. It is reported that during the melee, the policeman was shot in the hand and his service weapon and the bag of money stolen. The injured policeman was taken to hospital where he was treated and released. Canadian advocacy groups says claims made by farm workers not false. Canadian advocacy group Justice for Migrant Workers has stressed that the reports of farm workers in Canada being mistreated on the farms are not false. In recent times, the media has been flooded with reports of alleged poor working conditions on farms in Canada. Some workers have described the conditions as being similar to slavery. A fact-finding team has been established by the government to observe operations and speak with workers on the farms. The team is to provide a report to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. However, a date has not been provided for when the team will be deployed. In an interview Sunday morning, a member of the Canada-based advocate group Justice for Migrant Workers, Maureen Samuels, said that she had visited several farms and has seen the conditions that these workers are experiencing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're not lying. They're not exaggerating. They're not stretching the story or the truth. Because I have gone there. I have listened to the stories of the farm workers. I have seen their living conditions, the difference between the growers' houses and the farm workers' houses. When one of the farm workers mentioned about the zinc house, or where this is Canada. I would say, 3/4 of the year is ice. Ice like what we use to make cold drink back home. We have to live and walk on ice to get to our jobs. And for farm workers, their farm is outside, so meaning they have more ice on their farms. It's out of the town, so it's colder as well, depending on section they are. But at the end of the day, it's all ice. And how can anyone live in a dwelling in a bunkhouse without proper heating? My first response was shock. State of shock, because these are not new stories. These are not new complaints by farm workers, right? And these same complaints, have been out there, have been made by farm workers, right? But these are not new complaints, right? Okay, so for the minister to come here and says, he didn't see any problems. Everything was fine. That's just appalling, right? And my opinion is, that's a disgrace.
Yes,
a disgrace to our people and our nation.
Education Minister urges parents to ensure children obey school rules. With the new school year on the horizon, Education Minister Favor Williams is urging parents to avoid reinforcing negative behavior in their children and to ensure their children obey school rules. Mrs. Williams made the call while speaking at the North-South Seventh-day Adventist Church on August 3rd. She expressed concern about the level of indiscipline and crass behavior displayed by some of the members of society, especially at schools. Mrs. Williams noted that the ministry is taking an all-hands-on-deck approach to the issue, enlisting several stakeholders.
So the Ministry of Education and Youth has been reaching out to our stakeholders and the church community to join hands as we seek to reinforce to our children the importance of respect for selves and respect for others, how we interact with and treat each other. We want our parents, as we begin a new school year, to ensure their children obey the school rules, to ensure they themselves attend PTAs, Parent-Teacher Association meetings, and use that as the venue through which, if they have any disagreement with the rules, use that venue to advocate for change. Try not to come to the school to bad up the teacher or the principal. That's not acceptable behavior. As we read the newspapers, listen to the radio, watch television, and sift through various bits of information that are shared via social media platforms, we're often shocked and bewildered at the lewdness and violent behavior that we're seeing from some of our children. There are many sociological analyses as to the root cause of this behavior. And from the perspective of members of the community of faith, there is a spiritual dimension as well. Whatever the genesis and whatever the contributing factors, what I do know is that we cannot continue like this.
$71 million to be spent on new housing in Denham Town. The government is to spend $71 million to build 20 new homes for families in Denham Town in West Kingston. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said there are several other such projects lined up across the country.
So I'm very happy to be able to break ground today. We have several other projects like this lined up, and you will be seeing me going around the country, breaking ground on many more of these. I hope that the people who will be the beneficiaries understand the great sacrifice of every single Jamaican through their taxes to provide this solution. I hope they understand that by being the beneficiaries, that they become part of a social contract, to be positive role models in the community, to use this asset that they will have access to improve their own quality of life. For them to feel a part of the society, you have to give them somewhere to live, improve their living conditions. And in conjunction, as we work on everything else, the quality of life will improve. Because one thing you will be able to say about this government, we're dealing with education, we're dealing with crime, we're dealing with infrastructure, we're dealing with health care, we're dealing with everything. And all of them come together over time will improve the conditions of the people living in communities like these.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification